Well, we have a question from Thomas. I'm a 39-year-old male from Hungary who finally could gain 5 kilograms and went above 80K at 182 centimeters of height with the help of the Mass Made Simple book. Well, good for you. I like his next sentence. It's the second best investment after my 2 20-kilogram kettlebells, which I bought to be able to do your ABCs. You know, I love that. And I think for a lot of you listeners, I could stop right there and say, you made a good point. He bought a book and he bought some equipment and he followed some basic things and good things are happening. Double 20s for most of my male listenership, I should say, instead of readership. It is just a great investment because you can do the armor building forming with that. And yeah, maybe for some of us, the press will be too light, but there's options in the books on how to fix that. One of the things he says, and I like this, I really like the complexes, though I could only work up to 45 kilograms as the press limited me going above. So in Mass Made Simple, the complex is what I call complex C. And the reason I put the military press in there, Thomas, is to slow you down so you don't go too much. It's like in some of the snatch-related complexes, the snatch slows you down because I know you can do snatch grip, deadlift, snatch grip, Romanian deadlifts, squats, maybe an overhead squats will be another one that holds you back. But I know you can do more weight on those, but that press limits you. And that's what I want because I want you to do sets of 8, you know, and to make them look good. So he asked this, any advice on how to keep these complexes in my following programs, like Rite of Passage mixed with ABC? I gained some extra belly, which I do not intend to keep, and I will be walking a lot. Well, first off, you asked a couple of things. So let's look at it. Let's look at this first. Let's look at this idea you have. Now, I have a book called The Armor Building Formula, which really does mix the armor building complex with the Rite of Passage, sort of. But one thing you could do if you're doing the armor building formula, and this is just an idea, is that week 1, you do the armor building complex on Monday. On the second day, you do the Rite of Passage, you know, and every lift in the Rite of Passage should be a clean and press, clean and press. And honestly, I think if you're going to do it like that, do it like it's outlined in the book, and then add the pull-up in. So 1 clean and press left, 1 clean and press right, pull-up. 2 clean and press left, 2 clean and press right, 2 pull-ups, and then you go up from there. And on day 3 that week, you do the armor building complex. Week 2, Rite of Passage on whatever, day 1, Monday. Again, adding the pull-up. Wednesday that week, the armor building complex. Friday that week, you could do the Rite of Passage again, and just keep repeating on that. Slowly increase the number of rounds with the ABC, and then slowly increase the number of clean and press and pull-up. Well, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but also increase. Let's do an easy day. So you can do 1, 2, 3, and then another round of 1, 2, 3, and then another round of 1, 2, 3. On a medium day, you'd add another 1, 2, 3. On the hard day, another 1, 2, 3. Be kind of fun. Now, you asked a specific question that I just wouldn't mind. You also said keeping the complexes in. If you're going to do the complexes and the armor building complex, I think we're now in that chasing too many rabbits position. Doing a barbell complex before the ABC, I'd suggest you just do more rounds of the ABC. But if you're going to do the Rite of Passage, one of the knocks on the Rite of Passage is there's no squat. And but if you were to do complexes as your warm up to the Rite of Passage days, I think there's real value in there. So, folks, Thomas's question really opens a couple of interesting windows here. One thing I think is good here is that if you decide to do ABC, rite of passage, ABC, rite of passage, ABC, rite of passage, I don't think it's a bad program at all. Now, the devil's in the details, cliche time, and we all know that. The rite of passage by itself, when I did it to get ready for the San Jose RKC, it was a lot of work, and I was doing it 3 days a week. And I got to tell you, when I got to the day we do the 75 clean and presses, 75 clean and press left, 75 clean and press right, and the 75 pull-ups, that workout took a while, but it was great. So you're going to have to build in a little bit of your own variations, a little bit of your own, there's got to be a rhythm to it. Every day can't be more. You're going to have light days, medium days, heavy days. You're going to have to cycle it somehow, but I like the idea. And I may have to invent this after I finish this podcast, but this idea of doing the barbell complexes as a warm-up to the rite of passage, I think is something to really think about. Not everyone obviously can do it. Not everybody has barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, and all the other stuff. But if you have both, it's an interesting idea. So Thomas, thank you. And I hope you get something out of it, and really appreciate it. It's nice to hear somebody from Hungary. I've got great respect for your athletic tradition from your country. All right, thank you. Oh, and one tiny thing I just want to tell everybody before we move on. I used a lot of letters in answering Thomas's question, and I got to be careful about that. The ABC is the armor building complex, and you can find out more about that here in my podcast in the past. I show you lots of variations, a single bell variation, a double bell variation. I also said the armor building formula and a few other things. So for the armor building formula, which discusses the ABC complex and a pressing routine, go to my bookstore, danjohnuniversity.com/bookstore. It's also available at armorbuildingformula.com. And it'll give you great details, and I think it's a reasonably priced piece. For Mass Made Simple, you can go to On Target Publications, which is otpbooks.com, and you can also get it for that place that's named after a river in South America. I think it's important, and I appreciate, because Thomas said something, folks, that I think a lot of you miss. Thomas bought the book, and Thomas also picked up the kettlebells. And to really make this stuff work, you've got to make a financial commitment to the equipment. I've been buying equipment for myself since I mowed neighbors' lawns, and I did work. I worked every Wednesday night, and on Saturdays I mowed people's lawns to buy my first incline bench, additional weights for the barbell that we got in 1965. And I'm really proud of it, because it really put me on the right track. Once a month, I would walk over to the Rexall Pharmacy, I think I got it right, and I would buy the new Strength and Health magazine. Why I didn't just simply subscribe was because my mom didn't trust sending a check to York Barbell Company, which I still look back with a little bit of smiles. Well, there you go. So it's important that you also invest and not just listen to podcasts. So thank you. Great question.